All right, we're working in Chapter 2, Section 5, and today we're going to be working with solving formulas. The Algebra Review card says that for formulas, to find values of one of the variables given the other variables, substitute the known values and then solve the equation. So, here's how you do it. If you have to solve an equation for a specific variable, we know the area of a rectangular formula is area equals length times width. If the area and length are given, and we have to find the width, how would we go about doing that? Well, what I do is I circle the variable that I'm trying to get all alone. How do I get that alone? I divide both sides by L, and so W equals A over L. This is called solving for a specified variable. We treat the specified variable as if it's the only variable in the equation and treat the others as if they're numbers. Okay, solve this for t. So the first thing I do when I write the equation, I equals PRT, I circle the t, that's what I want to get all alone. T is multiplied by P and R, so I'm going to divide both sides by P and R, and I get T equals I over PR. So now you do this one. All right, just press pause, and then when you're ready, you can press play and see how I did it. Okay, so I write the formula, W equals F D. I circle the F because that's what I want all alone. What did they do? They multiplied it by D, so I'm going to divide both sides by D, and I get F equals W over D. How about this one? Press pause, and then when you're ready, press play. Okay, so I write the formula, A equals 1/2 B H, and we want the H all alone. So the first thing we're going to do is to multiply both sides by 2. That'll get rid of the 1/2 over here. And then divide both sides by B, and that will get rid of the B over here. And we're left with H equals 2A over B. H equals 2A over B, which is letter D. All right, sometimes they get a little tricky. Let's look at this one. S equals 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. We want the h all alone. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is to take care of the subtraction. Subtract 2 pi r squared from each side. And when I do, that goes away, and I'm left with s minus 2 pi r squared equals 2 pi r h. So now I should divide both sides by 2 pi r. And these cancel, and you're left with h equals s minus 2 pi r squared over 2 pi r. Now, you may say, well, that doesn't seem like it's any easier, but I will tell you this. If you have 100 problems where you're trying to find the h and you're given the other two parts, this will be a lot easier way to solve the problem. You try this one, press pause, and when you're ready, press play. AX plus BY equals C. We first of all circle the A. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract BY from both sides. And we get AX equals C minus BY. We're trying to get the A all alone, so we're going to divide both sides by X, and we get A equals C minus BY over X. You do this one. When you're ready, press play. All right, so we write down the formula. I equals N, capital E, over N, R plus capital R. If you notice, we have N on the top and the bottom. So we have N appearing in two separate locations. The first thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by N, R plus R. N, R plus R. and lowercase r plus capital case R. Okay, these two cancel, and we have n lowercase r, capital R, times I equals n capital E. Now when we multiply this out over on this side, we get I n r plus I r equals n e. Now you may say that didn't seem like that made it any easier, but now you can subtract I n r from each side, because now both r's are on the same side, and you're left with IR equals NE minus INR. You can factor an n out of these two, and you're left with E minus IR. Divide both sides by n. I'm sorry. Divide both sides by E minus IR. I got carried away. E minus IR. And these cancel, and so n equals IR over E minus I lowercase r. Do I have a negative sign wrong someplace? Because I don't see that as one of the choices. IR over, oh, I see. I have the same thing that they do for letter C, but you notice I have the bottom mixed around the other direction, and so my letter is the same as their letter C. They subtract, they had negative INR plus NE on that side. So that's where they did differently than I did. Okay, another one. A equals P plus PRT, and we want the T all alone. So we're going to subtract P from each side, and we get A minus P equals PRT. Divide both sides by PR, and we get T equals A minus P over PR. You see the value of circling the T so that you remember what you're trying to get all alone. Okay, you try this one. X equals U plus ZS. We want the Z all alone, so we're going to subtract U from each side. And we get X minus U equals ZS. Divide both sides by S, and we get Z equals X minus U over S. Oh, another tough one. Try this one. And I don't know why they always give you the hard ones on these multiple choice. A equals 1/2 H parentheses B1 plus B2, and we want the B1 all alone. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, and that'll take care of the H. So I'm not going to take out the parentheses first. That's what I'd be tempted to do, but I'm not going to do that because I can get rid of that H also by dividing both sides by H. And I have 2A over H equals B plus, or B1 plus B2. Okay, and then subtract, we want the B1 all alone, so now I'm going to subtract B2 from both sides, and I get B1 equals A, or 2A over H minus B2. Now if you notice, that's not any of the choices, so what we need to do is to make it like one of the choices by multiplying. I'm going to change color so that you can see how I'm making it the same way. What I'm going to do is multiply both sides by both of this, the top and bottom of this, by H, and then I'll have 2A minus, oops, capital letter A, minus HB2 all over H. So I combine the denominators, equals B1. And then it's just like this letter C right here. Notice this is the exact same problem as the one we just got done with, except for they call them lowercase b and capital B, and we want the H all alone though. All right? So the first thing we're going to do, A equals 1/2 H parentheses B plus B, is we're going to multiply both sides by 2, and that'll take care of that. We want the H all alone. So we're left with 2A equals H parentheses B plus B. Divide both sides by B plus B. They cancel. And we're left with H equals 2A over B plus B. You try this one. If at all possible, take care of the fraction before you remove the parentheses. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, and that'll take care of the 1/2. And I have 2s equals A plus B plus C. We want the A all alone, so we're going to subtract B and C from both sides. And we get 2s minus B minus C equals A. These cancel. Okay, here's a one for you. So the first thing that we want to do, A equals P parentheses 1 plus N R, close parentheses. Since they want the R all alone, let's multiply out the parentheses just to show you that it is possible to get it without what I was doing before. So then now we're going to subtract P from both sides, and we get A minus P equals P N R. We want the R all alone. Divide both sides by Pn, and we have R equals A minus P over Pn. Now I'm going to do that one the other way to show you that I would have gotten the same answer. So the first thing I would do is divide both sides by P, and I would get A over P equals 1 plus NR. Subtract 1 from both sides, and I get A over P minus 1 equals NR. Divide both sides by N, and I get A over Pn minus 1 over N equals R. We need to get both of them over a P, so I'm going to put a P on the bottom and a P on the top. And then I have A minus P over Pn equals R. Okay, so here's some check yourself questions. Press pause and I'll show you what I got for the answers when you're ready. If you're talking about area, you would use square feet. If you're talking about perimeter, you would use linear feet. Square feet is feet to the second. The linear feet is just feet. If you're talking about volume, you would use cubic feet or meters to the third. This next one we did yesterday. This would be area. This would be perimeter, area. This would be area, perimeter, area. A lot of areas rather than perimeters.